Okay, I've gotten the rails off, got the seats out, the brackets are still in there for the frames. Got cleats off, the front light. And I'm about to start working on removing this motor, putting it on the stand. But before I do that, I want to make sure I know where everything goes. So it looks like we've got some throttle cables. They come in here and run all the way up to the controls. They come through, and they come in on the driver's side, and they are connected, bolted down here, and then connected right here. Just kind of a little pull back, snap-on connector. And then we've got battery line that's going in. That's what the mouse got a hold of right there. Looks pretty recent too. So this positive line comes in to this starter solenoid, connects there along with another cable. So the negative line goes in, and it is bolted to the motor right there. And that also is connected to the starter solenoid there, the ground, and then that ground also goes over to the starter. Actually, that looks like that is positive. No, that's ground. That's grounded to right there. Nope, I'm sure that's probably positive. Grounding happens in this whole frame that this starter is attached to. So also on the starter solenoid, we got this ground wire. We got this hot wire, this neutral, and black and white are taped back on this. So it's just receiving that hot wire and that ground, and that goes up to the ignition switch. So now I'm gonna disconnect the battery cables and the ignition switch and the throttle controls. Okay, we've also got gas line from the tanks with a quick disconnect, and then a primer bulb that's completely dry rotted. But that will come in, go underneath the drive lines, and it will attach right back here to the fuel pump, I believe. We've got this low voltage wire that goes up to the controls. Figure out what that's for. Probably coming off the voltage regulator. but it comes in here, goes behind, around the back, through this little guide here, and then up into the bottom of the flywheel area. So could be a CDI, magneto, something. So we'll take the gas line off, and this lower voltage wire. Those are the only two things remaining in this inlet where the two throttle controls came. And then still gotta disconnect the battery and the ignition cables, and then this motor will be ready to come off the transom. Okay, I'm taking the controls off. Found some wasp nests in there. But here's what's going on the inside. We've got the throttle controls coming in. Then we've got that low voltage wire, and this other cable coming through here. And so the bigger cable has this red and ground, positive and line and ground for the starter solenoid, and then the ignition is also coming into the switch housing. This is the wiring for the ignition, and it's going to the switch. Pretty simple.